Hello, everyone. Welcome to Goenka Chronicles. I'm Akshay, your host for this episode. Today, we are not here to talk about another success story. We are here to talk about a woman who fought against all odds and turned her inner fire as a weapon. Miss Pooja Agarwal. She's the Pro Chancellor and founder member of Sri Ram Swaroop Memorial University. She's not just a name, she's an ideology herself. Welcome, ma'am, to our podcast.
Thank you so much for the generous introduction. I love it.
Thank you, ma'am. So, to start off, let's go back in time. Who was the young Pooja Agarwal? And what was she like in her childhood?
Well, if I can sum it up, I would say inquisitive,
Okay.
extremely, very focused, and somebody who knew the importance of time quite early in life. So that was young Pooja.
So, ma'am, you were inclined towards discipline, right?
Yes, very much, because my mother has always been a very strict disciplinarian. So, I mean, we were told how to segment our time, how to utilize it, not to waste it, put it into use. If you're not studying, you should learn something different. So that is the kind of environment I got as a child. And I feel that has made my foundation extremely compact and strong.
It's incredible, ma'am, how small steps
Yeah,
shape the personalities we are today.
absolutely.
Ma'am, moving forward, being a gold medalist at IIT Kanpur is a very huge achievement which most people aspire to, right? However, you had became a gold medalist in IIT Kanpur at an era where most women were asked to prioritize homemaking over their higher education. What is your take on it?
Well, for me, becoming a professional was the only choice because my mother, my father, we got this entire ecosystem in our house where we were supposed to study, and not just study, we were supposed to excel. So
Okay.
it was not, I wouldn't categorize it as pressure, but it was kind of you have to perform to your highest potential and then leave the rest. Do your best, leave the rest situation was there in my house. And fortunately, I was doing quite well from the initial formative years of my schooling. And then I got my first kind of spark and fire in my class 5 when I stood second in class and lost the first position by just 1 mark, where I felt, yes, of course, I can do much better. So it was always, but in our house, we were supposed to not just study, we were supposed to do art, music, a lot of other things. So I feel that kind of environment when you get to kind of explore your inner passions also along with studies, that gives you the best ideal condition to grow as an individual. So, homemaker, being a homemaker is equally challenging a job. I won't undermine anything of that sort. But yeah, my mother always used to tell us that you have to be independent. You will only ask for help from anybody whatsoever if you cannot do a certain job. Otherwise, you have to do everything on your own. Even if we have house help, we have to do our job on our own.
That's
We were not supposed to ask our staff for help. Pani le aao ya plate rakh do. That was something which we have been taught since childhood. Apna kaam khud karna hai. So with that thing in mind, and of course with a lot of studies in place, I was kind of maneuvered to that whole path of doing good.
So, since you talked about how your mother inculcated discipline within you, did you do the same with your three daughters?
Of course, I did. I mean, you won't believe, just to put it in the lighter vein, during one of the Holi, and my daughter was taking her boards exam, they brought those pakka wala rang and they wrote big padho on my forehead. Okay, she's always saying padho, padho, padho. So, yeah, I tried to do somewhat to that extent what my mother has taught me. कि बच्चों को when you are raising them, you have to raise them firstly with good value system. Secondly, you have to tell them the importance of time. The moment you make them realize that time will never come back, come what may. So then they start attaching a lot of value to that aspect, and then they start doing justice with that thing. So if you're in a classroom, you have to do justice to your being there mentally and physically. If you're in your art class, you have to do justice there. So if that basic underlying bottom line statement is there, that you have to do justice with where and when whatever you are doing, then I feel half the battle is won.
Lovely, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, but if we look at, since you have told how you've inculcated discipline, right? Most of the people today, I'm not even talking about Generation Z, Gen Z, or anyone. I'm talking about almost everyone. If we look at Gita, there's a shlok which says, "Karm karo, phal ki ichha mat karo," right? Over there, it says that we should do our duties. We shouldn't expect the result, right? What you have done is basically an example of that. And could you share some tips on how you did it? Because I think it'll be helpful for most of the audience watching this.
All right. So, yeah, of course, I very, deep in my heart, I do believe in the ideology of karma. आपके हाथ में कर्म ही है, फल तो है नहीं, वो तो ऊपर वाले के हाथ में है. So there are two things which are part of our basic constitution as human being. One is your karma, second is your destiny.
Okay.
कंट्रोल में क्या है? आपका कर्म है. Today, I choose to sit here and talk to Akshay about what I am doing right now. I choose to go out and maybe spend some time in my office. So that is my choice. And all such choices which are making my everyday, they become my karma. And this is my sanchit karma, the thing that I am accumulating with my progression in my journey of my life. And there is somebody who is deciding whether this karma was good or bad or neutral, and how I should be rewarded or penalized for this task. So that is your destiny, and let it be handled by the Almighty. वो तो इतने बड़े हैं कि you can't even, you are nobody, you are not even an iota of
Exactly.
so आप कर्म करते जाओ, और लेकिन उसमें फिर बहुत ही शिद्दत होनी चाहिए, पूरी जिसे कहते हैं ना, ऑनेस्टी होनी चाहिए काम करने में. आप और हम बात कर रहे हैं.
जी.
इफ आई स्टार्ट गिविंग यू फेक आंसर्स, इफ आई स्टार्ट telling you certain things which don't actually fit into the right scheme of things, it will be a waste of time and effort. Now, if we are honest with each other,
Right.
you asking me questions, I am answering you my things, so then this will be a productive use of time. The outcome will be productive.
Yes.
This should be the motive, कि हम जो भी टाइम अपना 1 घंटा भी स्पेंड कर रहे हैं, there should be a productive outcome. टीचर इज गोइंग टू अ क्लास, अगर वो 1 घंटे में बच्चों को प्रॉपर अपनी ऑनेस्टी से डिलीवरी नहीं कर रहा है, दैट पर्सन इज एक्चुअली डूइंग बैड कर्मा, बिकॉज उसको काम कुछ दिया था, उसने करा कुछ. तो वो सबके साथ है, एंड ऑल दीज चॉइसेस वी आर मेकिंग एवरी सेकेंड ऑफ आवर एग्जिस्टेंस.
Absolutely, ma'am. And ma'am, you mentioned the word Sanchit Karm.
Hmm.
Could you elaborate? Because it would help our audience understand your answer way better.
ओके. सो आई एम नॉट अ स्टैलवर्ट एट सच थिंग्स, बट थोड़ा थोड़ा मैं पढ़ती रहती हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है इसके विषय में पढ़ना. एंड 2 तरह के कर्म जो मैंने पढ़े हैं, एक होते हैं संचित कर्म, दूसरे होते हैं प्रारब्ध कर्म.
जी.
संचित कर्म होते हैं जो हम संचय करना, यानी इकट्ठा करना, कलेक्ट करना. तो जो हम हर दिन अपना एक बिहेवियर शो करते हैं, जो काम कर रहे हैं, चीज़ें कर रहे हैं, उससे हम अपने कर्म को एकत्रित कर रहे हैं, संचित कर रहे हैं. दिस बिकम्स आवर संचित कर्म. एज एन अकाउंटेंट आपके खाते में लिख दिया जाता है, यार ये करा, ये अच्छा करा, ये बुरा करा, ये अच्छा करा, ये बुरा. तो ये आपकी साइकिल चलती रहती है. आपका जीवन हुआ, फिर आपकी मृत्यु हुई. एज हिंदूज वी बिलीव इन द थ्योरी ऑफ री इनकारनेशन. तो ये जितने हमारे कर्मों का एक बैलेंस शीट है, ये अगले जन्म में आप उस बैलेंस शीट के साथ पैदा होते हैं, और कुछ नहीं होता है. योर सोल रिमेन्स द सेम, एंड योर संचित कर्म बिकम योर प्रारब्ध फॉर द नेक्स्ट बर्थ. प्रारब्ध का मतलब हुआ जो आप पीछे से लेके आ रहे हैं, दैट इज योर प्रारब्ध. संचित हुआ जो हम आज इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं. तो ये दोनों मिला के आपका जीवन का जो एक रचना होता है, द स्टोरी ऑफ योर लाइफ इज रिटन बाय गॉड. दैट्स व्हाट. सो समटाइम्स यू वंडर कि मेरे साथ इतना बुरा क्यों हुआ, मैंने तो किसी का बुरा नहीं किया, या उसके साथ इतना खराब कैसे हो सकता है. यू नो, दीज आर द क्वेश्चंस व्हिच यू लुक फॉर आंसर्स एंड यू नेवर गेट दीज आंसर्स. सो फॉर मी माय एस्केप रूट इज कि मेरा प्रारब्ध कुछ खराब था, इसलिए मेरे को ये आजिज़ की सज़ा मिल रही है, जो तब रह गई थी. हिसाब किताब तो पूरा होना ही है. इस ब्रह्मांड में नथिंग विल एस्केप.
Yeah.
देयर इज नो ब्लैक होल. तो दिस इज संचित कर्म.
Ma'am, आपकी experience, it speaks volumes. And I really love that. Expanding on to what we were discussing before about IIT, what were your experiences in IIT? Did you experience ragging, bullying, trolling, or even harassment? Because if we look at the statistics, IITs have way fewer girls in general than boys.
Yeah. That is true. We were just a bunch of 10 girls in a batch of 325 boys.
My God.
Yes. Now things are getting better and greener, as boys say. We were in like very barren pastures. So yes, but it has its own charm. To be in a position where you don't find many people around, it had its own charm, but yes, it comes with a lot of challenges also. So I wouldn't say IIT, and especially IIT Kanpur, where I have spent 4 very productive years of my life. I have gone through phases of ragging and bilkul hoti thi, and I was a very darpok person, very, very darpok at heart, very scared of boys in first place because I'm a product of a all girls school. So 11th, 12th, I moved to Kuwait. Till my class 10th, I was in all girls.
Okay.
11th, 12th was Kuwait. That major, I would say, shift happened in class 11, 12, but that was the time where I was like very busy with my prep for IIT. So I didn't notice that change that much. But when I came to IIT, it was a very new world for me, environment for me. So adjusting with ragging per se, and ragging में बहुत simple है. सामने वाले को अगर समझ आता है ना कि ये डर रहा है तो उसको और डराता है. So I was this, as I told you, I was those darpok kinds. If I see a senior from a distance, I would just drop everything off and run away and just hide myself in a corner. So, but today when I look back and see my reactions, it's fine. It's part of the game of growing up, and it was never bad ragging at IIT. It was very comfortable. If you don't like anything, if you're too uncomfortable with the whole scenario, you can just walk off. Nobody had the authority of stopping you. So it was, I would say, quite fair. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah.
So, ma'am, since you talked about in class 10th, you moved from in class 10th after you did your boards,
Mm.
you moved to a co-ed college.
Yeah.
That is basically you moving out of a comfort zone.
Yeah.
How did moving out of a comfort zone shape the personality that you are today?
Okay. So it's little complicated in my case. Okay. Because as my friends tell me, I have transformed quite a lot from my 11th, 12th Pooja Agarwal to today. Today I'm more extrovert. I like talking to people. I like meeting people around. That was the time I went in my shell. And I was considered not a very good person to talk to because I was not available at all for any conversations most of the time. And I was very happy in my group of 4 friends, all girls from my previous school. So some people think I was very arrogant. Some people think, okay, she's touch me not situation. Lot of things, a lot of buzz around me. And since I came from the other school, which was a very, very coveted school at my place in Bareilly, so people thought she's very high headed. So I got all names. But never, nothing bothered me at all because I was completely focused on my selection. So my escape was my 4 friends and my books and mathematics and a lot of other things which I was interested in. But today, I mean, after moving out from that environment, when I went to IIT, I loved going around, participating, talking to everybody, and probably that is what I am today. Learning more.
That's lovely, ma'am. And ma'am, you gave us a very wonderful example of how your environment, the people you interact with, really shape you.
Yes.
As in your case, you used it as a sort of social bubble
Yes.
to protect yourself.
Yes.
Ma'am, so moving on, this is a question which will relate to our audience very well. What is the biggest myth of IIT and what's the number one tip to crack it?
Okay. Biggest myth which a lot of people come with that mindset probably is कि बस IIT में selection हो गया है अब life set है. I feel it is all myth. You enter that system, it's like you are entering a completely new world which is putting you under test every minute. Of course, I mean, there are all sorts of people. There's a spectrum of people everywhere. Now, people who are entering IIT are mostly achievers and super achievers. So, when at IIT you feel you are the super achiever and nobody can actually challenge your knowledge, your intellect, and all that, you get that first jhatka when you get your first 0 on 10. in the quiz. And that is the eureka moment for every IITian, I feel. That yes, there are people who are 100 times smarter than you. So better be, in a toned down version and better listen to what they are saying. So the myth that you will now be set for life, I don't agree with that. You have to ultimately perform there. And now you are performing in a group of super achievers, which is much more challenging. So never be complacent with your success getting into IIT. Now, cracking, number one tip, well, it varies from person to person. I believe in hard work.
Okay.
So more than anything, I believe that if you are a hardworking person, you can actually beat a lot of challenge around just with your hard work. Just be diligent and keep doing. And I believe in baby steps. I never believe in big leaps and bounds situation. I believe in baby steps. If I'm given a situation, I remember my teacher used to give me during the prep time 1,000 questions on integration. कि ये 1000 क्वेश्चंस इंटीग्रेशन के कर लिए तो पूजा तुम्हारा आईआईटी में सिलेक्शन इंटीग्रेशन की वजह से नहीं रुकेगा. So as a person, for me it was always okay, throw a challenge at me, I'll prove you wrong. Throw challenge. It was always that way with everything in every situation. So I took it as challenge. 1000 question है, अरे कर देंगे. You won't believe when I was about to enter IIT for my orientation, and everybody has a dream, and I had heard a lot of things about the library of IIT Kanpur and the volumes of book that they treasure there. So as a silly, too whimsical teenager, I must say, when I entered, so I thought, kid, I'll read all the books of IIT Kanpur and I'll get my name registered in Guinness Book of Record for being the only girl who got into IIT and read all the books. That was the kind of delusion I used to create for myself. But somewhere it pushed me across my own boundaries, which is what I feel. Of course, that is something which is very ambitious, yeah. So you can always beat things with your ambition and hard work.
That's lovely, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, but if we look at the things in IIT, many people in IIT come from so many countries, so many cities, right? Do you think because of them coming from different cities, everyone is new to IIT? It's the first time they're entering IIT. They may be seniors, right? But there's a sense of, people from multiple hundreds of cities coming into one place and studying. Do you think because of that, the environment was a bit better than what a normal government college would have been?
Of course, I believe that diversity definitely brings a lot of merit to any educational institution. With diversity, you actually get to learn new mindsets of people, their ways of living. I remember during my orientation, I could see one gentleman walking in the orientation room, the hall, with a chota sa briefcase, and he was wearing dhoti kurta. So we were looking at him किसी ऐसे बैकग्राउंड से भी लोग आते हैं, उस बैकग्राउंड से भी बच्चे निकलते हैं, जहाँ पे उनके पास कोचिंग नहीं है, पढ़ने के लिए किताबें नहीं है, बिजली नहीं है. जो आपकी जनरेशन में शायद अब एक जोक बनकर रह गया है कि हम लैंप के नीचे बैठ के पढ़ते थे. But it used to be our reality. We were not blessed.
Kerosene oil.
Yeah, we were not blessed with so much of luxury, so to say, in today's time. We were actually burning candles and burning kerosene to study. So all sorts of people come and they make you humble. They make you humble, which is probably the biggest thing. Keep aside bookish and technological and other aspects, understanding, intellect, genius, that's separate. But as a human being, when you listen to these stories, when you get to know that somebody in your batch, and it's a true thing that all the examples and analogies that I'm drawing are true, they are not cooked up. So when you get to know that so-and-so from your own batch has started cursive writing ABC in class 6th, because he comes from a Hindi medium school. And this guy is struggling with English texts now. Griffiths padni padi hai, Kresic padni padi hai. So then you understand this is the real challenge. Language is a barrier, language is a challenge. So you feel you're in a better position. It humbles you. That is what I'm trying to say. Diversity humbles you.
Lovely, ma'am.
Yeah.
However, if we look at language as a medium, many people who do JEE, who do NEET, who do UPSC as well, those who do in Hindi medium generally ask for a little bit more time. Even 10-15 minutes would be sufficient for them to complete their paper. Do you feel if we increase the time limit, in that sense, like English probably has 3 hours, I'm not sure, I'm just guessing, and Hindi medium students probably get 3.5 hours more, right? Do you think that would, bring a lot more selections or qualifications or qualifications within IIT or UPSC?
Yeah, I do feel, firstly, as far as possible, we should make things bilingual. We have done it in our university, and for a lot of courses, because I feel language should not be a barrier uh, so far knowledge communication goes. Transfer of knowledge between a student and teacher, and likewise, it it can only happen if there is a very fluid environment, and language barriers, they disturb that fluidity. So if I am comfortable in Hindi as my language, I should be able, allowed, and promoted to express myself in that language, in that medium. Because eventually language is just a medium. It's not nothing more than that. ठीक है ना? अभी आपको अब कंप्यूटर साइंस का वर्ल्ड है. Everybody is running after AI, ML, data science and all that. Now, if I force you to write all the programs in, say, बाबा आदम के ज़माने की Fortran, okay, चलो C उठा लेते हैं, चलो C++ उठा लेते हैं, those kind of language, you would say कि अरे why are you forcing me to write in those language? I have logic, I have flowchart, I have logic. Let me express myself in other newer languages. So you will be more comfortable in your new set of languages. Now put the same thing in the other perspective. That a person is not comfortable in English, let it be. It's not a drawback. It's not an inferiority thing. So firstly, create a very comfortable, congenial environment, and then the knowledge transfer should happen. So I feel for these competitive exams, it should be bilingual.
Love.
Bilingual will invite more merit, because that will put that person in a more composed and a calm situation. And when you are calm and composed, you deliver more.
Yeah, absolutely.
हाँ,
And that's such a brilliant take, ma'am.
yes.
But equally important, since we are in the topic of merits, what was your first win that made you believe yourself?
Yeah. So my minor win, as I said, in my class 5, when I lost the first rank with 1 mark. But I think the major win for me, the game changer, I would say, was when I topped my class 10th.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
So I never knew I would top my school during my class 10th exams. क्योंकि जो हम लोग का environment था वो, it was not very, it was little different. It was not as open as today. So there were a lot of people who felt that somebody else would, and even the teachers were in favor of, all that politics to school. No, although I was never part of that school politics. So one of my teachers, my success to my physics and maths sister Stella, she somehow believed in me a lot. So that was the time, I'm talking of 91, when this whole Babri Masjid thing के पहले 92 में हुआ है वो.
92.
91 में मंडल कमीशन आया था,
जी.
जिसमें कि सेल्फ इमोलेशन हो गया था, वीपी सिंह की सरकार थी एंड ऑल दैट. सो 2-3 महीने का कर्फ्यू लग गया था, एंड आई वाज इन माय क्लास 10th. So that was the time when my teacher called me in the school, because they used to stay in the school, missionary school, कि पूजा, you are supposed to make the best use of this time, 2-3 months. तुम घर पर हो, you got to spend good study hours, and not to joke and not to brag about myself. I'm just telling you, that was the time I started studying for 18 hours a day.
Oh my.
I used to move by minute, कि 18 घंटे पढ़ना है तो पढ़ना है. किसी दिन 18 का 17 हुआ तो I would steal an hour from the next day. So that was my mindset at that time. And she had a lot of faith in me, which in turn infused a lot of self-confidence and that thing. And then, of course, I did what I was supposed to do, and I was holidaying in Nainital with my family. and that was a time of no mobiles, no phones, and no phones in fact. PNT घर में एक होता था,
Landline.
लैंडलाइन होता था, तो हम वहाँ थे, and this one batchmate of mine from class 10th, she came running to me in Nainital कि पूजा result आ गया है and you have top. And I remember I was sitting on the other side of the table and I had no space to go. I sneaked down the table and I started crying, hugged my mom and I was crying a lot. And she told me, अनिका कितना परसेंट मार्क्स आए? अभी आज तक कल की तरह नहीं है, 90s में सबके आते हैं. तो she told me 82%, which was like very good, very very good at that time. ICSE board.
Oh,
It was very good. मतलब 70s क्रॉस करना बहुत बड़ी बात मानी जाती थी उस
आज के
जमाने.
हिसाब से 90.
हाँ, आज का 90,
हम्म,
90 तो काफ़ी बच्चों का आ जाता है. आज का आप 94 उठा लो.
70s में आना.
उस समय लेट 70s में आना, 80 क्रॉस करना तो बहुत ही बिरले कोई करते थे, 80s क्रॉस करना. मतलब 1-2 बच्चे सुनने में आ गए 80s क्रॉस करते थे. तो वेल, आई वाज़ वेरी यूफोरिक एंड ऑल दैट वाज़ हैपनिंग. व्हेन आई रीच्ड स्कूल एंड आई जस्ट कन्फर्म्ड अबाउट माय रिजल्ट, it was 89%. So I was like blown out of my mind. I mean, how could this happen? I mean, 89. So that was kind of creating history for my school. And then the next day, all these newspapers, they came. बरेली में कुछ भी न्यूज़ इज़ अ न्यूज़, वो वाला था. तो मॉर्निंग लॉट ऑफ पीपल स्टार्टेड कॉलिंग मी, माय पेरेंट्स, एंड देन न्यूज़पेपर्स आ गए. मुझे याद है, मुझे पता नहीं कहाँ-कहाँ से सम्मान मिलना शुरू हो गया. अग्रवाल समाज की बेटी ने ये किया, वो किया टाइप. So that was my limelight moment. And then I thought, yes, कर सकते हैं कुछ.
This really motivated me myself.
It did. It changed.
Hmm.
Changed me as a person.
Ma'am, that's what really separates you from the crowd. And however, have you wondered why schools push PCM for boys and PCB for girls? Generally, there's this notion. Now it's not that prevalent, but during your time when you were schooling, was this notion very prevalent that bio is for boys, bio is for girls and maths is for boys?
Yeah, I think we all have grown up with this very strange idea that maths is not for girls. As I told you, I generally believe in taking challenges. So somewhere, if I dig deeper into the mindset and psychology of things, so when all this I kept hearing कि ठीक है मैथ्स नहीं है लड़कियों के लिए, तो मुझे लगा अरे तब तो मुझे ज़रूर करना है.
हाँ.
You know, going against the tide all the time. So मुझे तो ज़रूर करना है. And I'll tell you, maths is like back of my hand even today.
Yep.
And I like reading and getting more updated on a lot of other things in mathematics. So personally, yes, I took it as a challenge and I did perform in maths. But what you are saying, this underlying notion that bio is for girls and all that, yes, it was there. That mindset was there. But yes, we were 7 girls against 42 in bio in my class 11th and 12th. So it was there. And then IIT वाला भी वही है कि maths नहीं लोगे तो फिर वहाँ कैसे पहुँचोगे and all that. But I think it's just in the mind. It's just not a gender barrier. I mean, it is very foolish on anybody's part to propagate the idea that it's a gender barrier. No, it's not a gender barrier to all the girls who are listening to me. It's just in your mind here. Don't listen to anybody. If you like maths, take maths. If you like biology, I mean, I was very good at biology also. I remember very, very good at biology, but I didn't like biology as much as I loved maths. So go with your love interest. Don't listen to people.
That's lovely, ma'am, and very insightful. But honestly, I believe this mindset should change and it needs to change.
You change your mindset, everything will change.
What a lovely quote.
Yeah. You look the way you want to look. Don't let anybody force you to paint your canvas.
By Miss Pooja Agarwal.
Just emerge.
Ma'am, but moving from the side of academics, do you think social media has promoted sexual harassment and sexual abuse, or did it promote its awareness?
Okay. So I wouldn't say social media promoted sexual harassment. Rather, I would say it has a lot of pros in place because now people can actually talk about it more openly. They know about the nuances. हम लोग जिस environment में बड़े हुए हैं, like a no social media environment, I feel it was more choking and stifling. Now I feel it is more liberated. So I see more merit in social media being in place. And of course, it is up to an individual what to consume
Hmm.
as a content. Now, if you as an individual is consuming bad content, you will ओहो, आप जो बोगे वो काटोगे, वो वाला सीन
Procreate
है,
वहीं करेंगे
वहीं करोगे। तो लेकिन इससे जो एक जनरल मासेस में हम अवेयरनेस फैला सकते हैं अबाउट द सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट, अबाउट द राइट्स ऑन हाउ टू फाइट अगेंस्ट सच थिंग्स, हाउ टू स्पीक अप, how to react in such situations. I feel today's generation is much more aware and much more clearer. You know, they are clearer in their thoughts. We used to just go in our cocoon. हमें तो मतलब I hardly see eve teasing now. But we have grown in times where eve teasing was just a way of life. Today, people would not even muster the courage of, eve teasing is considered to be very
brutal.
brutal and petty, very petty. But in our times, it was like, and Bollywood, they promoted all this.
Absolutely, man.
So again, I said the content that is presented and what you are consuming. So the social setup was such, it was probably very choking. If you ask me, I want to relive, I want to be born in your generation and relive my younger days in a more liberated environment.
Ma'am, so how was content back then? Did it promote more more of the idea that women are more of a material or an object as compared to now? Because now we're seeing a gradual rise of, women empowerment. And even though back then also people used to talk about women empowerment, but I personally believe today we're taking steps towards it.
I agree. I agree with you completely. Um, well, I do not need to, put my finger on something. But yes, stereotypes were created at that time. People were idealizing with the content they were getting on cinema, on television. Television उतना उस समय आया नहीं था. Late early 80s में ज़्यादा आना शुरू हुआ. So yes, that stereotyping was happening. That material tag to the female counterparts, it was all that was happening. And very few movies used to show a different side of being a female. So all that was happening. A lot of patriarchy in the entire system. And definitely that percolates in society because you ape. You try to copy what you see. Everybody wants to be Amitabh Bachchan. So, but with that, you have to get pura package lo na. It's like people justify that we drink alcohol and we drink bhang because Shivji पीते थे. Like, what nonsense is that? Shivji और भी तो 50 चीजें करते थे, वो आप करते हो. You justify only the thing that you want to pick and choose. You can't cherry pick from these things.
Exactly.
Take it as a package. तो होता था उस समय कि पेट्रियार्की एंड ये सब चीज़ें थी और हम लोग ज़्यादा बोल भी नहीं पाते थे। लेकिन माय मॉम ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू टेल मी वन थिंग कि टू बी लिसन्ड, टू बी हर्ड बाय पीपल, you have to be powerful. So first, work on that. Garner that power in you so that people listen to what you are saying. I feel that is very important. Otherwise, I mean, everybody can, in the herd, they can stand and shout. Nobody's going to hear you. So today things are changing. Social media is bringing about a very positive change. I find a lot of merit in this.
Lovely.
I do. Yeah.
However, if we are talking about alcohol, drug abuse, teenage suicide, alcohol and drug abuse are very popular today.
Yes.
And why is it happening and how do we fix this?
So, of course, I don't have a ready-made solution to these things, but I can share my thoughts on this. I see this as a very genuine problem in this generation. And it is, see, we only look at the part कि उसने drugs consume किए, उसने alcohol consume किया. अभी थोड़ा सा we have to see the previous chapters of this story. क्यों किया? Is that person not getting enough friend environment, family environment, parent environment where this person can express? Is this person not channelized in a way where you need to channelize the energy of every individual? Is that person getting more time on internet and not getting time on a sports field? So is the parent not watchful of the fact that my ward is getting depressed? Now, if you are getting depressed, if you're not happy with your mindset, you will resort to such means. That definitely doesn't justify doing that. But I am just saying that you have to first figure out why this person is doing it and then deal with the situation. Okay, now we need to correct this. तो पहले आपको जो शुरू का पार्ट है उसको देखना होगा. That means we should definitely put our energy and focus on how we engage with our kids as parents, with our students as teachers, with our siblings. You know, as an elder sibling, you have responsibility towards your younger sibling. You are not too disjoint, you are not disjoint, you are one unit. तो ये वैल्यू सिस्टम का पार्ट हो जाता है. वैल्यू सिस्टम कहाँ से आता है? जब आप एक फैमिली डिनर में मोबाइल्स ऑफ करके बात करते हो. So as a rule, like in my household, there is a rule. Nobody is allowed to bring mobile phone in the dining room. No, I take strict objection to the fact. That is the time when you need to look in the eye of the other person and talk. Do that. So this is a baby step, I am saying. With these baby steps, if we channelize our students and tell them, and they will be very receptive. I am not blaming the new generation for this at all. In fact, I feel it is our responsibility to put them and give them the right direction. हमने उनको डायरेक्शन नहीं दिया इसलिए वो भटक गए हैं बेचारे.
हाँ.
वरना वो नहीं करेंगे. Nobody wants to be in that zone of all that. I feel we should take it as a responsibility of giving them a very constructive environment. Then they will not resort to these means. And if unfortunately somebody has moved in that track, then also we owe this responsibility of identifying कि ये बच्चा क्यों नहीं बात कर रहा, क्यों ओपन अप नहीं कर रहा है, क्यों खेल नहीं रहा है. Are we conscious? Where is our sensitivity? So in this mad race, somewhere our sensitivity is taking a back seat, which is probably the bigger problem.
So, ma'am, do you think since more women are moving towards the workforce, towards employment, women employment today is at its peak. Since both parents in most houses, I'm not talking about the rural areas, but even if we take the metropolitan cities, the big cities, most over there, most houses have both the parents working, and since they're not able to devote so much time towards their kids, do you think that's the reason why all of this is common?
Um, well, in rural areas, let me correct you on that.
Yes.
Females are working equally, hand to hand with men.
Okay.
They खेत में लड़कियां भी काम करती हैं, औरतें भी काम करती हैं, आदमी भी काम करता है. In fact, it's the other way around in this part of our society, not the rural, but the lower income group of our society. I see in my household the two females who come to work as my housemates. Both of them are working, husbands are not working because they are into alcohol and all such bad habits. So it's the other way around for the lower strata of society. Now coming to the middle category, yes, both the parents are working. Probably it's the need of the hour. Ambition wise, females want to work, they should work. If they choose to work, they should definitely work. It brings more money in the household, which eventually turns into better lifestyle for the entire family. So it has its own merits. Now, regarding time that they can't give to their kids, I think it's more about the quality time that you spend with your child. I have been working all my life, but I don't see any element of quality time not being given to my kids. We spend a lot of time together playing. I mean, Ludo is an everyday thing, playing pool is an everyday thing. So if you come back and just say, I'm so tired, I can't, I'm just hooked to my television or my mobile phone. So even if you are there, it doesn't matter. It's about 1 hour of quality time that you spend with your child. So it's more of quality than quantity, which is what I categorize. Yes, it is definitely challenging for both parents to go out of the house, work, come back. But then kids also get used to the idea that they are working for the family. And they should get this idea that my parents are going out. Now, when they come back, it is my responsibility to tend to them and not become a burden on them. So it's a matter of dual responsibility. As a kid, you can always go and ask when I was a kid, my father used to come back from work. It was like taught to me that you have to ask him for water first and then tea first. These are little things that show your gesture towards your elders in family. It's all part of training. So, usme nothing is lost. We are going to stay in this environment. So let's find out a way of digging out good quality time with our family.
That's such a brilliant take, and I personally learned a lot from this question especially.
Okay.
However, building on that, I have examined a lot of your speeches, and you did mention that life is too short to work for others. Work for yourself and your passion. That's a very powerful statement. But could you tell me the background behind this?
See, we all have our story of life slated in front of us. We know what we aspire to be. I feel, and of course, situations and of course, COVID and such things, they tell you कि जो हम हिंदी में एक शब्द सीखते थे क्षणभंगुरता.
Hmm.
क्षणभंगुरता का मतलब होता है कि wink of an eye and it is gone.
हाँ.
It's what life is. You know, I don't know whether I'll be able to step out of this school in proper shape. You know, you never know anything. Maybe I'll be a happier person when I walk out. So it is so, you know, it is so, I'm at loss of word. How do you say that?
Blink of an eye.
No. I'm saying कि इतना नॉन डिसाइसिव है ये चीज़. पता ही नहीं है क्या होने वाला है. So might as well.
Not predictable.
Unpredictable. Ugh, that was the word I was looking for. It is so unpredictable that might as well explore your passions. Do best whatever you can with your passion, with your work, with your existence. You as a human being, if you can bring about some change in somebody's life, why miss on that opportunity? तो मैं तो बहुत सिंपल बिलीव करती हूँ कि आपको जो मौका मिल रहा है आप गुड कर्मा कर लो.
Hmm.
This moment will not come back and that will go in my khata. You know, it will go back in my khata. So I am a very strong believer of this thing कि जो करना है अभी करो, जल्दी करो. It's just running away, it's just slipping.
Time is going.
It's going.
Ma'am, and since you're so attached with Indian culture, our culture, what do you think has changed over the past, since I'm sure you must have read a lot, what do you think has changed over the past 1000 years? And in terms of treatment of women in society?
Okay, 1000 is a very long time. So, I mean, 1000 can be broken into many eras of, and coming specific to your question of status of women in society, if I touch upon before 1000 years, I feel women were very well placed. There was this one 5-episode documentary on Netflix which I watched long back. Your question was addressed in that documentary in 5 episodes. So maybe I'll dig it out and maybe send it.
Sure.
So it touched upon the status of women across the world and Indian society, of course, because we were the only civilization and the
Absolutely.
pioneering civilization of humanity, I must say. And then
In
it
fact, we
spread.
were the only civilization who worship women.
Yes. So the status of women that was given long back in Vedic area, post-Vedic, modern era, it has changed. But we should learn from where we started. So we talk of Shiv Shakti, Radha Krishna, Sita Ram. तो उस समय जो लिटरेचर प्रोड्यूस हुआ, जो एक सोसाइटल एक एनवायरनमेंट था, it was giving equal status to women, rather giving them the status of a deity. That is the reason why Sita is written before Ram. You know, you must have read about these analogies कि भाई राधा कृष्ण क्यों बोलते हैं, कृष्ण राधा क्यों नहीं बोलते and all that. ठीक है, that's just part of our interpretation of the words. But if you read those Vedic and that time literature, you get to see how women were given, they were respected in society. They worked equally with men. In all our diggings, we find women we get glimpses of the fact कि how they were managing family, household, and not just here. In Egypt also, if you look at these old civilizations in Mesopotamia and Babylon.
China.
Yes, China came later. There also. So we were treated equal to our other gender, and there was no divide. Now with time and with patriarchy setting in, I don't know from where and how this whole thought got lost, that we are equal contributors to this machinery of humankind, and we were kind of pushed in a corner where we were only tagged as procreators, people who would only produce children. तो उसकी वजह से क्या हुआ कि बिकॉज ऑफ आर बायोलॉजिकल सुप्रीमेसी probably the men got threatened and they pushed the females into a corner कि ठीक है, you are there to take care of your child or family, and the whole equation and dynamics changed. But now with time, people are realizing that आप क्या मिस कर रहे हो? You are missing 50% of your potential.
Exactly.
So we cannot do that. So if a female can produce a kid, बायोलॉजिकल सुप्रीमेसी जिसे मैं बोलती हूँ, वो चीज़ तो ईश्वर ने दी है. फिजिकल सुप्रीमेसी मैन को ईश्वर ने दी है, तो हम दोनों को अलग अलग चीज़ें दी हैं. लेट अस सेटल इन आवर ओन डोमेन्स, राइट? बट वी शुड बी वेरी सपोर्टिव ऑफ ईच अदर इफ वी वांट टू मूव अहेड इन लाइफ. तो आई हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ चेंज हैपनिंग, बट आई फील अपनी परेशानी, अपना झंडा खुद लेके चलना पड़ता है. Women should support other women in rising, so to say. That's how I
And
feel.
this is a approach which no one talks about, and I'm very glad, ma'am, आपने ये approach को लाया इस table पे.
And I don't see it as a fight at all.
Hmm.
I don't see it as a fight between man and a woman. It's not a fight. It's not a ये कोई आधिपत्य की लड़ाई नहीं है कि मैं बड़ा हूँ या तुम बड़ी हो. नहीं, वो लड़ाई है ही नहीं. बात ये है कि मेरे अंदर अगर एक पोटेंशियल है तो वो पूरी होनी. If I can sing, I should be promoted to sing and pursue it as my passion and my profession. ठीक है ना? तो मुझे केवल घर के काम में अगर आप कन्फाइन करोगे तो मेरे अंदर फ्रस्ट्रेशन आएगा. वो फ्रस्ट्रेशन फिर फैमिली में जाएगा, बच्चों में जाएगा, पूरा इकोसिस्टम खराब हो जाएगा. वो नहीं करना है बस. एंड इफ आई चूज टू बी अ होम मेकर, लेट मी बी. Let me be.
हाँ.
I'm happy in my domain. So the whole point is where you are happy. What makes you happy?
Hmm.
If I decide for myself and for people in my family, and that's about it. उसके बाद तो लाइफ बहुत छोटी है.
हाँ, as you say, time passes. Hmm. Shifting focus, ma'am, there is a saying which is very popular in terms of in the corporate world as well, where a woman who demands respect is often seen as difficult.
Hmm.
Have you been ever given this label? And if so, did you wear it as a badge of honor?
I have been a tough taskmaster, let me tell you. So since my husband and me, both of us, we are batchmates from IIT and we started the whole venture together. So as people say, we are good cop, bad cop situation. So some people call me bad cop because I believe in discipline. I believe in delivery, timelines. I'm a very strict, stickler on timelines, I must say. So respect comes from you can't demand respect. You can command respect. And for that, you have to lead from front. So if my people see me working day and night for something, then that respect comes on its own. I can't demand respect that I'm so and so and you have to respect me. It will never come. And that's not true. And that's an eyewash. It comes from within. So to generate that kind of respect in your people, you need to set examples. You need to first follow and then expect anybody else to follow. So if I'm expected to be here at 10:30, I'm supposed to be here at 10:30, come what may. Then only you will have respect for me. Otherwise you would say, उन्होंने मेरा आधा घंटा खराब किया है. So
Not.
you have to lead from front. Then respect comes.
And ma'am, since you're talking about leading from the front, obviously we both know that, in fact, our audience also must know that the greatest of leaders are also the greatest of followers. So, did you ever feel the burden or pressure for young women admiring you, or do you think that's very inspiring for you from within?
I never feel the pressure. If I feel blessed and humbled. I think if somebody is looking up to me, because as a kid I have drawn my inspiration from a lot of females that I have seen growing in my days. So if I can be an iota of what they were, at that time for me. So I see it as a matter of great honor, great blessing that young girls and young people are looking up to me to draw some part of whatever I can give to them. So it's never a burden at all. But yeah, it definitely drives me to strives, helps me to move forward. And yes, it's a matter of responsibility. I can't afford to uh, put them down.
Yeah.
They have hopes with me.
Mm.
So I take it as a matter of responsibility also that I have to take this forward and never let them down with my actions, with my words, whatever. So,
Absolutely,
yeah.
ma'am. And that's very impactful, and that shows your insight as well.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, we have a set of rapid fire questions.
All
again,
right.
if you're comfortable with.
Mhm.
Okay. One lesson IIT Kanpur taught you for life.
Diligence,
The first word that comes in your mind when you hear leadership.
respect.
Okay. What fuels you more, criticism or appreciation?
Well, it's a mix of two. Difficult. Appreciation keeps me going. But that doesn't mean, it's a difficult question, I must say. We can cut it.
Okay.
No, but I'm actually thinking because I need my dose of criticism, definitely. Without criticism, you can't improve, and you need to improve. You are like just there. You can't be number one, number two, number three. You're just there. And if you're not there, then somebody else would be there. So
Exactly.
it's like that. So I cannot say appreciation, but yes, you need your dose of appreciation also as a booster. तो दोनों चीजें चाहिए होती हैं. What do I say in this? It's a difficult question.
We'll cut it, ma'am.
We'll cut
Okay. Tea or coffee?
tea.
Okay. What does feminism mean to you?
Power.
If your life were a book, what would be its title?
A sweet girl.
Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
What role does spirituality play in your daily life?
Immense.
A quote or mantra you live by?
Do your best, leave the rest.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Ma'am, so I have a few sets of questions before we wrap this up. What is your relationship advice for the present generation?
Well, I see this generation struggling a lot with relationships. I feel the new generation should take time to cross the levels of relationship, so to say. People are in a haste. You should consolidate your ideas. You should never get the perfect match. So it never happens with anybody. It will never happen with you. Take that as a reality. Have trust. I feel trust is missing. So put your basics in place. You have too many red flags to start with. You always look for मतलब आप चाहते हो कि आपके पूरे जीवन की कहानी आज ही लिख दी जाए. It never happens. Life unfolds. It's magic as it comes. Today's generation probably is struggling so much with relationships because they want to write the entire story today कि तब क्या होगा, फिर तब क्या होगा, फिर तब क्या होगा. It never happens that way. You need to just trust in the person, have faith in yourself for selecting the right person, and then move ahead with a great amount of trust, tolerance, and acceptance. ये सुनने में these might be like your moral science lesson, but yeah, that's a fact of life. You have to accept the other person with good and bad both. If that person is having more green flags according to your language, then you should move ahead and not look for all greens. That's my advice. Don't look for all greens.
That's lovely.
It'll be a mixed bag.
That's lovely, ma'am.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this advice may help our audience as well.
I wish.
Before we wrap up, since we know we have seen a lot of successful people leave behind a legacy. So, what does legacy mean to you? And do you hope to leave it? And what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
See, legacy in terms of profession, if I would say, we are into educational institutions, and as they say कि old wine की तरह से the educational institutions they get more flavor and fervor as they grow, you know. So I would love to see our venture blossom and spread happiness around. So that is the professional legacy which I want to leave. On a personal front, the legacy which I would like to leave is like something what you want to your epitaph to read, something like that. So I just want to be remembered as a person who was sensitive and who made a positive change in somebody's life.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Ma'am, but however, since you mentioned that the education system is sort of like old wine, it has a lot of flavor being added to it every year. Every new generation brings something new.
Mhm.
Do you really think from the past, maybe 100 years, I would say, or even 30 years, has that education system changed according to the new age needs?
It is changing now, and all thanks to social media. Lot of realization has come, and in my lifespan, I don't know 100 years, I wouldn't say that. Like although we have kind of crossed that whole the ecosystem of education, the Gurukul system, and that kind of श्रुति से जो सीखते थे
जी
कि जितना आपने श्रुति से सीखना, कविताओं से सिखाना, जितनी उपनिषदें, कहानियाँ, आज आपको वो कहानियाँ बिल्कुल बेकार लगेंगी कि इट डज़न्ट मेक सेंस। क्या मतलब है इस बात का कि ये चंद्रमा राजा कैसे हो सकता है और नक्षत्र रानियाँ कैसे हो सकते हैं? नो, यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड दे इट वाज़ देयर वे ऑफ टीचिंग यू साइंस। Now, when I read more deeper into such things, I get to know that they had their way of communicating science to a common man in the common man's language, which is storytelling, which is poetry writing. You might be remembering 10 different poems of your nursery, है ना? क्यों? क्योंकि that sits well in our human brain.
Yeah.
सो दे जो भी ये कहानियाँ बोली गई पीछे, ये कविताएँ बोली गईं, इतना ब्यूटीफुल सिस्टम था जो हमने धीरे-धीरे करके ये सब डिप्लीट कर दिया ओवर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम विद इन्वेजन्स एंड कॉलोनाइज़ेशन एंड ऑल दोज़ इश्यूज़। बट एट लीस्ट वी रिवाइव इट नाउ। आई फील वी टेक इट एज़ अ कॉलिंग कि अब तो हम करें उस चीज़ को। तो चीज़ें बदल रही हैं, जो लोग भी इस रियलाइज़ेशन में गए हैं विद न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी कमिंग इन विद दिस गवर्नमेंट, तो उसमें भी कई चीज़ें इंट्रोड्यूस की हैं अपने एंशिएंट इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम को लेकर। सो वी हैड अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल सिस्टम ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड आई रियली विश दैट वी ट्राई टू एम्बॉडी सम पार्ट ऑफ इट नाउ।
मैम आपने मेंशन किया NEP 2020 के बारे में. Could you probably put some light to it?
Okay. So, firstly, it got implemented now, लेकिन इस पे deliberation काफ़ी टाइम से चल रहा था and everything comes with political will, which is what I feel. Now, we want to do this thing and we want the new generation to learn about our past. Unless you know your roots, you can't have wings and you can't fly. So that is something which we all should understand. So this is our root. This is our pride. Not just the root. This is our pride. Now, this policy, it enables us and gives us a framework where we can educate our students with what is there in the ancient books, why it is relevant today, why we had this exhibition at our university very recently, and one of the physics students, she put up a whole show on gravity, and Newton discovered gravity, blah blah blah. So I told her, no, you're wrong. Newton discovered gravity nahi. Then I told her about the श्लोक जो गुरुत्वाकर्षण का श्लोक जो कन्नड़ ऋषि ने लिखा था पहले, कितना 800,000 साल पहले, तो and that she was not aware of that. Now what is our task? We should make our students aware of the fact कि आप जो न्यूटन और डी मॉर्गन थ्योरम और लेबनिज थ्योरम और लाप्लास इक्वेशन, टेलर सीरीज, अरे इसके पीछे माधव हैं, भास्कराचार्य हैं, लीलावती गणित है, और ये हम केरला स्कूल ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स क्यों भूलें? तो हम ये 800,000 साल पहले थोड़ा हमें रिवाइंड करना पड़ेगा। वो जो प्राइड है, जब तक हम इस जनरेशन को नहीं देंगे, तब तक उसमें ना कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा, ना वो एक सेंस ऑफ अचीवमेंट, ना हम ग्रैंड नैरेटिव की तरफ मूव कर पाएंगे। दिस इज NEP.
Yeah.
This is
Lovely,
NEP.
ma'am.
Yes.
And there's even this joke which is kind of flying around that if instead of an apple, a coconut fell on Newton's head, then things would have been different.
Yes, yes.
Before we wrap up with this entire podcast, since you're a mother of three, how do you manage your work life as well as the relationship with them? Because from my research, I've gotten to know that a lot of your kids are also studying abroad, and far distance relationship is the time when you could say time or even God tests your relationship.
Okay. So, just to put things in perspective, my three daughters all are product of Lamartine Girls class 10th वहाँ से किया, then they did the 11th and 12th from Cambridge section here only in Lucknow. So my kids have gone out only after class 12th. Till class 12th, I was fortunate to have them with me. And it was a conscious decision that I would not put them in hostel till class 12th. It was a very conscious decision on my part, because really feel sad for kids who have to go to hostel and who are kind of separated from their parents for different reasons. I'm not saying the reasons are there. That's why parents are also taking that tough call. But I chose not to send my girls out, and I wanted to keep them with me. And after class 12th, my eldest one, Arushi, she was All India 4th ISC topper.
Congratulations to her.
Thank you. So she cracked and she reached Berkeley, and she did her business studies from Berkeley Haas Business School, which is again very very niche program. And Berkeley जाना ही मुश्किल होता है. उसके बाद they have their internal selection process through which they select people for Haas. So she graduated from there 2 years back. And the middle one, Mahi, again a product 12th यहीं से किया उसने. She's a science student, only science ही in our.
Okay.
So she's the one who is carrying our legacy as engineers. So she is pursuing engineering from Brown University, and she was just one of the 7 kids who got through Brown in 2 years back. So she is in her second year of engineering now. And my youngest one, Pavni, she just finished with her class 12th exams, and she got selected at UPenn.
That's lovely.
Yeah. So my kids, all these selections are merit based. They know how to work to make their way through, and I have helped them with whatever. Just I think a couple of things which I did. First, I always found time to teach my own kids since class मतलब nursery से लेके till class 12th. So I never put any tuition teacher for them. I was their teacher throughout.
That's very rare, ma'am.
Probably it's I never trusted anybody with that thing कि मेरे से अच्छा तो कोई पढ़ा नहीं सकता. I mean, you can call it overconfidence or whatever, but I had a lot of trust in this thing, and they tell me that I'm a good teacher. I have patience and I can teach them well. So not putting them in hostel, that means I want to spend more time with them. And it was always for me work and kids. Social life was very a remote possibility for me at that time. Now with them growing up and all that, I tend to find time for other things also.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
So today, what's the best piece of advice you have ever received?
Be honest in what you are doing and give your best shot, because that time will never come back.
Lovely.
That is what I have followed.
Today, this was not a story of one person. This was a message for every girl who chooses to follow their dreams. Pooja ma'am, you didn't only share a story, you set an example, and that's what future generations will remember.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you, Akshay. It was pleasure talking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned for the next episode.